Hey guys, and welcome back to Divine Engineering 2, Episode 4. Last episode, we started immersive engineering by getting a coke oven as well as a blast furnace up and running. We also progressed in roots by getting a basic root setup over here up and running, as well as ending off by making the staff. But in today's episode, we're going to start off in roots by getting us some spells, as well as unlocking the nether in order to get them. As mentioned last episode, the first spell that we're going to be wanting is Sky Soar. This is a spell that basically just allows us to fly. But to make it, we need cloudberry, bone mushroom spores, living arrows, some slime blocks, and a block of amethyst, and a mortar and pestle. Let's go ahead and get the worst part of this out of the way, is the bone mushroom spores, because this requires us to go to the nether. We do have nether unlocked point, so we can take our obsidian and make another portal right here, and then use the flint and steel that we got to light the portal. Then we can go through the portal, and have my game glitch out like this. But I guess this is a good chance to tell you guys why I did not want to do the nether last episode. It's because in Divine Engineering 2, the nether has been changed to have the better nether mod, which makes things so hard I would rather throw my PC out the window and leave the game. But unfortunately, we need to go here for spells. So yeah, that's the nether for you guys. But yeah, after fixing the glitch, we spawn here in the nether, and our portal is nowhere to be found because it got deleted somehow. That's why we are immediately making our way back. Just want this portal here just in case anything bad happens. But I think we do end up needing some eggplants for a quest, so we'll take a few with us. We end up getting a quest. I know we need some of these nether apples for one of the quests, so let's just grab a few while we're at it. I think I'm getting poisoned. Looks like there is a structure over there though. But yeah, I know we need some of these eyeballs for another one of these quests. Well, let's go ahead and investigate the structure. Ow, what is this? And we're dead. That jump scared me so hard. Somehow we're still on fire in the afterlife. My game is just straight lag right now. But 3 days later, we hop back onto the world. We got our stuff back and got our bone mushroom spores. So next is just going to be some micro crafting that I won't really show. All you should be knowing is that we made a bunch of plants, then just did a bunch of other micro crafting and got loads of different quests. So I'm going to go through those before I show you what we're about to make. Anyhow, I ended up doing way more quests than I thought I was going to be doing, but it's all worth it because now we can finally get the Sky Sword spell by just doing a bit of that, and there's the spell dust. Now, we may have the Sky Sword spell dust, but in order to actually use it, we need to make a imbuer and a Grimoire of the Forest. The imbuer is just bronze, terramoss, and shardstone, so there is the imbuer. We'll place it down here for now. Next, we need the Grimoire of the Forest. This is made with some bark, terramoss, and an emerald in the middle, so there is that. So according to the quest, what we have to do now is place our spell dust inside of there, then right click with the Grimoire of the Forest, and it said in a few minutes we should get a little notification saying that we've learned a spell. There it is. The spell Sky Soar has been added to your library. I'm guessing it just lives inside of this thing. Next thing we need is the Imposer. This is basically just to modify spells. It needs a imbuer, 2 bronze things, and some shardstone. So there's our Imposer. And we'll just set it down right about there. So I think next we need to put our staff inside of there. We need to right click with a knife. There we go. So I found out that we can open up this thing called a spell library. We can select this and have it go into one of these slots over here. So now we can actually use this spell as long as we have the stuff inside of it. Now we can put this on here and use the iron knife. And now we can access all the modifiers. What these modifiers will do is basically what it says. This one, for example, is slow fall. It grants some slow falling. And we also have to use some Prescripta, whatever how you say that, whenever we use Sky Sword. And how we unlock these is just placing the respective plant inside of these. So the first modifier I want to do is the Infernal Bulb one, which basically is just gonna make the spell last way longer, which would be nice. So let me just go over and grab that. Alright, so now we have it enabled. And we can just take this thing out, and now we'll require some cloudberries and infernal bulbs in order to use. Now, last thing that we need to do to get everything fully working is craft a herb pouch. What this will allow us to do is basically put all of our plants inside there so that it can be used as fuel for our spell. The herb pouch itself is just shardstone, string, and buffalo hide, so there's that. You can also upgrade the pouch into one of these ones, but I don't really feel like doing that right now. So we can put some cloudberries and infernal bulbs in there, and now we should be able to use our staff. This is not as good as I thought it was gonna be, but hey, we're flying. This is better than not flying. I can definitely get used to this though. So yeah, I've just been flying for a little bit. It's really nice. It makes traveling way better, especially in places like the Nether. So I had to like go back there for like a bunch of the stuff for this. So yeah, that's nice to have that. I think I might want to modify it one more time though. Yeah, I think we'll choose some wild root. So enable that, and then we'll also put some wild root into our herb pouch. All right, let's see the new momentum. That is definitely way faster. Definitely a good idea to get that upgrade. Damn, we're zooming. I don't know if my computer's gonna be able to keep up with this. It's already lagging a bit. Let's go back to our base. This is really useful though. But fortunately, that's not the only spell that we can craft. As you see, we have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more. And that's just the stuff that's in the quest. There's actually way more stuff that is not in the quest. Because when you type in spell dust, you see all of this stuff over here that we can get. But the next spell I would like to get is the Light spell. This one is basically just a replacement for torches. We have everything here except for the sunflowers, which last time I did this in like my old world, this took ages to get. I mean ages, I mean like a year. But now I'm way smarter than I was back then. And we have a nature's compass, which I actually used earlier to find some of the stuff. So we can simply go find a flower forest with it. Start search. So let's go on over there, shall we? Anyhow, we are here. So I can't seem to find any sunflowers here. I think they might have tweaked this so they don't spawn in flower forests. There's a biome called the Sunflower Fields though. Distance is about 1,000 blocks this way, but I did also see the quest say that they spawn in plains as well. So let's find that. Anyhow, I found this little like glitch sunflower. I think we might be able to mine this. I guess not, but we've arrived at the normal plains biome. Anyhow, there is our sunflowers. And now back at base, we can use our sunflower to make the Light spell. Then we can put the spell dust in our imbuer, then put the Granary of the Forest on it, wait a few minutes to get the notification that we've worn the spell. We can go and take that back. Then we can open up the spell library and put the Light spell right about here. Now we can simply shift right click to change our spell slot, and since we have some cloudberries, we can go ahead and place a Light spell right about there. And as you can see, that just provides light without really being too much of a nuisance like these torches here. That's one of the main reasons I wanted that. So looking through the modifiers of the spell, it's just like to change the color of the light, so we don't really have to worry about that. So anyhow, we now have 2 spells done. I'd like to get all of them before this episode ends. So looking through all the ones, I think we should get the Radiant spell first. It looks like what this spell is going to allow us to do is shoot some light at people, which is always fun, you know. So yeah, it requires some glowstone, stalactite, cloudberries, a black apple, and a block of amethyst, which we should all have excluding the amethyst. So I just did a little bit more mining to get some more amethyst, but now we can get the spell dust for radiance. Along with the quest. We'll go and do the same thing to learn it real quick. There we go. Go ahead and select this. Alright, let's go ahead and try out the radiant spell. Alright, let's go find the mob that we can use this on. Put the skeleton right here. How are you gonna like this, buddy? Ah, you can hold it down. Nice. That eviscerated him. Alright, there's another skeleton over here, so we can get a better use of this. Pretty good range. Yeah, I'd say this is a worthwhile spell. Now, let's go take a look at the modifiers, shall we? Alright, I found 3 modifiers that I would like. First one's going to end up being this one. Let's just go ahead and lock this. What this will do is basically just gives us a wider array, which is pretty good. Now, the other 2 I wanted was the Infernal Bulb one, which is going to set fire to things. Now, the last one is the Wilder one, which is just teleport drops to you. Pretty standard. So yeah, that is what we want in terms of modifiers. So let's go and test this new spell on a different creature. I think this creeper will do for now. Oh my god, that's such width with the fire. Like I shot it from here to damage this guy. Crazy range and width. Just destroying him though. Yeah, this is definitely a good idea. Now putting good ideas aside, because we all know I don't have those, we're going to get another spell, and that is going to be the Wildfire spell. Quite the recipe for this one. Requires Diamond Sword, TNT, Infernal Bulb, Stalactite, and another block of amethyst. Well, I think we should have all of that in hand. Maybe with the exception of TNT, which might be annoying. No, we have enough. Turns out they slightly changed the TNT recipe. It now has a fire charged redstone and a gunpowder barrel, which is 5 gunpowder, a round industrial hemp, and a wooden barrel, which is just treated wood, which I think we should already have. Oh, no, we don't. Well, we can easily get this because it is just some creosote oil that we have been gathering up over here. It's just some creosote oil with some wooden planks, and that makes our treated wood. May as well get the quest for this as well. Yes, I do treat my wood well. Anyway, to make the wooden barrel, it is just treated wood planks, and then some treated wood slabs, which is easy to make. So there's that. So there's our gunpowder barrel, and then our TNT. So there's our wild wildfire spell dust along with the quest for it. We can yet again just put it on here in order to learn it. There we go. So we can just go ahead and select that into there. Now I don't know exactly how this works, but let's just go ahead and activate it. I think it might just be like an aura thing, but we'll see. We can go and test one of these crabs. Alright, looks like yeah, he got cooked, literally. So how far is the radius? Can we do it from like here? We have to be close to up. So if I activate it right here, what happens? No, so I have to be looking at the crab in order for it to activate. Alright, makes sense. We got some cooked crab leg for that. Crab's actually very delicious. If you haven't tried it, I recommend doing it. So yeah, that makes sense. So let's go ahead and go back to home and see if we can add some modifiers to this to make it way more interesting. So let's take a look at the modifier tree. Alright, so I found what I wanted to be using. We're gonna get the spirit herb one, which is basically just fire additional jet of flame and cast. Next is going to be the stalacrate one, because I don't know why, you know. Then last is going to be the cloudberry one. So that should be all the modifiers we want to be using. I won't really explain them because, you know, it's whatever. But we should be having a bit more of an effect on these plebeians, you should say. So let's put in some spirit herbs, some stalacrate, and let's go test this out on the crabs. Crab. Alright, crab, are you ready? Bop. Yeah, you can see he's levitating. Oh, these are actually pretty useful, I think. I saw them in some of the other quests. But yeah, there we go. Sprout, you're just gonna start levitating. You don't have enough spirit. Alright, what do you drop? Eggplant? Oh, whatever it is. Well, anyhow, that was pretty fun. Let's go look at some other stuff now. Oh, so I just realized these spells over here are actually gated till later on in the mod pack. So we only really have these three to worry about. So we can start with augmentate. We might be able to get a temporary spectator mode from this. That's actually might be really useful. So let's see this crafting recipe. Let's see, some iron, the eggplant, cloudberry, wild wheat, and a block of amethyst. Actually really useful that we just randomly got the eggplant that we'll be using. Hashtag not scripted, by the way. So to start, we can get the iron real quick. Alright, so there is our block of iron, then the eggplant, the cloudberry, the wild wheat, and then finally the block of amethyst. So now we should have our augment spell dust. There we go. As with the things with any spell, we need to make this actually able to be usable like that. So let's wait a little bit. Alright, there we go. So we can add this to our list of spells. And it says this doesn't do anything without a modifier. So let's look at the modifiers first. Alright, so the modifiers are like increases the distance you can reach with tools, movement speed, reduce the speed at which you fall. So the one I would like right now is just the spirit herb one, which is basically just going to allow us to enter spectator mode, I think. Might be how it works. Let's see. So let's go to augment, get the stuff in there so we can actually use it. Alright, let's see how this works. Oh yeah, we do just enter a spectator mode. That's interesting. Do we return to like where we originally were? Yeah, we do. Nice. And it does actually have a recharge. Alright, this might actually be really useful for trying to explore these caves. As you can see, I've been caving here looking for this amethyst stuff. But yeah, it's pretty useful. Probably the most useful spell I've gotten so far. But anyhow, we have about 2 more spells left. And the one I would like first is the rampant growth spell, just so that we can grow our crops pretty quickly. Now what this requires is some spirit herbs, some saplings, bone meal, golden hoe, and a block of amethyst, which is not very much, so we should be able to easily get that. But anyhow, there's our growth infusion spell, thus, along with the quest, hopefully. There we go. Go and learn the spell. Then we're going to add it in place of probably wildfire. Now before we use this, let's go and take a look at the modifiers. Alright, it doesn't seem that any of the modifiers are good, so we should just be fine to use this as it is. So this is what the spell does. On right click, it's just gonna grow our crops a little bit. Oh, it turns out you're actually supposed to be holding this down. But yeah, this works wonders. That's actually really useful because I was running out of a lot of these herbs and stuff that I use for some of the other stuff. But yeah, great spell. Now we can buff this a little bit further. In the modifiers, we can add some cloud berries, which will increase the radius. Then we can further increase the radius by adding some procresca, and even further increase the radius by adding some spirit herbs. So now once we do this, the area will be much bigger than before. It's actually kind of lagging out my game. I don't know why. But yeah, this works wonders. So anyhow, we now have tons of plants to be able to use. But anyhow, now we have one more spell to craft, which is going to end up being the harvest spell. So in order to craft this, we're going to need wild wheat, nether cactus, a diamond toe, water bucket, and a block of amethyst. So there is our spell dust for harvest, as well as the quest. So let's go and learn the spell, then add it to our spell library in place of augment. Now let's go and add some modifiers to this. So the modifiers that we would like is the procresca one. I was also gonna get the spirit herb one, but I guess it's just glitched out right now. So instead we'll get the cloudberry one. And then finally the last one we want is the wild root one. So we should now be able to use this just fine. So I think what this does is it basically just gonna like harvest all the fully grown crops. So we're just gonna do about that. And yeah, it just harvested everything, which is pretty useful, especially when we use it in turn with the growth infusion one. So we can do that, then use the harvest one. So yeah, that's about it. All right, so we have now gotten all of these spells over here. I think there is a few more spells that we can get over here if they're not locked behind anything. So let's look. Alright, so there is a few more that we can craft. We're gonna start out by getting this Dandelion Winds one, which is some Dandelion, Cloudberry, Runic Dust, which is runes sewn inside of a mortar and pestle. Then there is a piston and a block of amethyst. So we should be able to all easily craft all this. So there is the spell dust. Now there's no quest for this, so we can just learn it. Alright, there we go. We can go ahead and add this in replacement to Sky Sword. I have no idea what this does. Alright, so let's see what this does. Does it even do anything? No clue. So I read the book, so it seems like it only works on other entities. So let's go ahead and see what it does to our buffalo over here. Oh, yeah. Now they kind of are escaping, so we need to peacefully coerce the buffaloes back in. So yeah, that looks interesting. Let's go ahead and see what the modifiers are like. Alright, so none of the modifiers are too interesting. Let's go ahead and craft another spell instead. So the next spell we're going to craft is Storm Cloud. Basically, it's some obsidian, cloudberries, runic dust, wanga, and a cloud, which is just wool. So there's our Storm Cloud spell dust. Then we can go ahead and learn it. And we're going to select it by swapping out the Dandelion Winds one, because that one really wasn't that good, I'm gonna be honest. So let's also look at the modifiers for this spell. Won't really be that useful until I get some other modifiers on it. But then again, I think we should stop gathering spells about now and focus on the rest of the Roots chapter, because if I were to continue gathering spells, it would just take up the entire episode, even though we've already been doing that for like half the episode. So let's focus on the Roots chapter and just completing that. So I would like some wildwood armor that's down here. So in order to get to down there, we need to get this first, which is Fey Leather. And what I think you have to do is go up to a cow and then shear it using some runic shears, which I actually crafted earlier on in the montage. And that's what I used to get these spear herbs. Alright, so let's go ahead and find our cow. There he is. And now we just have to shear him. Oh my god, he looks horrible. So we only got one from doing that. It'd be nice if we had some more cows about now, but I know where I can find some more. So I found some more cows, so let's go ahead and shear these guys and get our Fey Leather for our quest. So now next we need to get a full set of Sylvian armor, which is going to be steel, Fey Leather, birch bark, amethyst, and some treated leather. And steel we have been producing for a little bit, so we already have a decent amount of it in order to craft the full steel set. So there is the Sylvian helmet, then the chestplate, then the leggings, then the boots. So there is our quest. Alright, now we're going to upgrade it to the wildwood set. To make the wildwood helmet, it's just wildwood bark, wildwood diamonds, and then antlers, which drops from deers. Which I think deers spawn in a snowy biome, probably, I would assume. Well, anyhow, we have arrived at the snowy plains, and I have also found the reindeers. Well, time to get radiance. This guy first. Alright, unfortunately, I don't think we actually got the antler drop first try. But we'll just have to find some more. There we go. Over here. Alright, now, sir, I would like your antlers, please and thank you. And he still didn't drop them. You want to drop them? No? Bruh. Alright, let's see if these guys want to drop them for me. There we go. So there is our wildwood helmet. Then there is the chestplate. Then the leggings. And finally, the boots. So there is our quest. So we're now going to be using this armor set for the time being. It doesn't really look good, to be honest, but provides a good amount of defense. So it's whatever. Now next we're going to get some moon glow leaves and seeds. And we can craft this with cloudberries, block quartz, birch bark, netherreed, and some glowstone. So all pretty simple stuff, which I think we should all have. Alright, now we can go ahead and light the fire. Now I've gathered everything. Then get a moon glow leaf. Then we're going to convert that into some seeds. And then plant it on some elemental soil. And then just use our bone meal. So we have enough for the quest. There we go. Alright, I figure while we're at it, we may as well complete the entire chapter, at least the main goal of the chapter, which is to get the artificial scarab rings. So to craft this, we have to put a moongo leaf, wild wheat, stallow crepe, spirit herb, and a fey leather inside the fey craft over there. So there is that done. So from this quest, we can easily get 48 steel ingots, which is going to help us in our jumpstart for immersive engineering. But putting that aside, let's go ahead and finish the rest of the stuff that's here. So next we need to get this, which is a surefoot stone. This is simply some rune stone around some terra moss and a dwaga. So there's our surefooted stone. And what this will do is basically, if we place it near our crops, It will just make sure that they don't get trampled, I think. Yeah. It also provides water, so we can remove this water and everything would be still working. So, that's great. Now, next thing we're going to do is these elemental soils. I've already done the aqueous soil. Next, we need to do the Salix soil, Terran soil, and magmatic soil. So, to get the magmatic soil, you throw elemental soil into lava. To get the Terran, we just have to go below. So to get the Terran, we just have to drop our elemental soil below Y level 30. Now for the Salix soil, you just need to go above Y level 90 and drop it there. So I think that's the easiest one to get currently. Luckily, the little hill right here takes us above Y level 90. So we can simply drop this out and it will turn into the Salix soil. There we go. So next up is the Terran soil. So we can go and throw down our elemental soil right about there, and it will transform for us. And then finally is the magmatic soil, and I think we do have some lava right about here. So we can just go ahead and throw this in, and it will turn to the magmatic soil, and we will get our quest. Alright, so now since we are close to getting all of these done, I'm just gonna go speed run these real quick, up until these 2 quests, because they are quite interesting. So anyhow, I'll see you then. So that is pretty much all the quests that we can get right now, as these 2 are gated. So let's move on to the final 2 quests that we can actually do. We'll start with this one. Okay, never mind. I don't think we can actually do this one without going into thermal expansion. So let's do this one instead, which I think we can get. So we just need an egg and then rotten flesh to finish the quest. So that should be that done. Now the real purpose of this is to just summon in animals that we should have been doing earlier instead of going and hunting for them, like say deer for example. But yeah, I think that's everything that we can end up doing in the Roots chapter as of this moment. So we can go and count this chapter as done. And I think I'll end the video just about here. If you like the video, like, subscribe, and comment down below. If you have any questions, I'll answer them in the comment section. But yeah, that was the video. Hope you liked it, and I'll see you in the next episode of The Fine Journey 2.